it's best to do a test. Do a test before you commit to doing your whole head. So do a strand test, do a skin test to make sure that henna is safe for you. Because even though it's natural, that doesn't mean that it's safe for you to use. Hey guys, welcome back. I want to say what's up to all my subbies, and I want to say chip and cheerio to all my newbies. And just in case anybody needs a translation, not about the chip, but maybe about the newbie part. A newbie be anybody, maybe, perhaps, checking me out for the first time, maybe for the second, maybe for the third. Honey, we do not count around here. Take it from me, we really don't. I just want my subbies and my newbies to come on in. Okay, so today's gonna be a quickie. Okay, today's gonna be a quickie. As you guys know, and those who have been initiated around the block or two with me, you guys know that I am about to do color, right? Okay, everybody knows? Okay, we're on the same page with that. And in us about to embark on that, you know that I have been looking at products and I have basically settled on the products that I want, which is the Clairol Beautiful, right? Okay, so everybody knows about that? You know about that? Okay, you can sit down now. Okay, I see. Okay, so everybody knows about that. So we're on the same page with that. Now, with that being said, one of you guys, and you know who you are, in addition to some of the other suggestions that I have gotten, one of you guys suggested henna, that I should look into henna. It's very natural, and really touting its benefits and sharing how it has worked so well for you. I never really delved into it or really looked into it as an option, but I said, you know what? This is my opportunity to at least look into it. So I decided to take a little peekaboo, a little looky-loo, and find out a little bit more about henna, you know, just in case there are others out there who are just as curious as I am as far as how henna works and how it can be beneficial, if so, for relaxed hair as well as natural, just hair across the board. So without further ado, we're gonna skip to my loo. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I promise. So without further ado, we're just going to get right to it and go over the benefits, both the pros and cons, but give the full, maybe a fuller picture of what henna can do for you and your hair. So henna is a powder. It's a plant-based powder derived from the leaves of the henna plant. And this particular red-based coloring agent has been used for many centuries, many years, to tint or dye everything from nails to skin to hair, as well as clothing. And it's been used by many different groups, including those from Africa, the Middle East, as well as East Asia. And the way it's made, traditionally, the leaves are dried out and then they are pounded into a powder. And then this powder is often mixed with an extra tannin, just to improve its dyeability, if you will, its staying power and staining power. So other tannins such as tea or coffee, it's mixed up with that and then usually turned into a paste, depending on what it is to be used for later. Now this red, orangey, brown pigment, interestingly enough, the younger plants, the younger leaves, they have the higher concentration of this pigment, otherwise known as lawsome. And the older leaves, well, not so much. So they have a little bit less. So as you can imagine, the younger ones are the more desirable ones when using or making henna. So let's go over the pros really quickly. Okay, now some of you guys may already be familiar with a lot of the pros because maybe you use it yourself, but honey, henna is known to add shine to the hair as well as strengthen it, because what it does is it gets in those cuticles and then lays them flat. It locks it down. So that allows the hair to appear shinier and stronger. As well as the proteins that are found in henna, this also helps to strengthen the strands as well. It is seen as a natural alternative to the chemical route, okay? So instead of using chemicals to dye your hair, henna is sort of touted as the natural alternative to that. As well as you can do it at your home. So it is DIY approved as far as kitchen beauticianship, because you don't really need a professional per se to apply it. It's very easy to mix and apply at home. And in addition to that, it comes in different, I guess, color depositing forms. So not only can you get the paste, but you can get henna-based shampoos, you can get henna-based conditioners, as well as masks, like hair masks that can help deposit the color on your hair as well, or freshen up the color that you may already have on your hair. As long as it's reddish and brownish based, it can help boost up that color and bring some life back to it. So not only that, it's also antifungal. It is antioxidants, or it has antioxidants in it, as well as I mentioned earlier, it is protein rich, which can help to support a healthy scalp as well as help condition and strengthen the hair. Now, I didn't even know it had all these good things in it, but it also has vitamin E, which of course we all know is good for the hair, okay? Good for the skin. And by the way, it is said to help slow down premature gray. Now that's what's being said in the henna streets, okay? I'm just the messenger, but that's what it said, that it can help premature graying. As well as it is considered a permanent dye. So it has long-lasting color. Now on the flip side of that coin, okay, because we're going to get into the cons now. Now on the flip side of that, one should be aware that yes, being that it is permanent, it's hard to change later. So again, henna is basically a reddish orange based dye. So once you use it, you're basically imparting that color to your hair. And afterwards, if you want to change or lighten it, that may cause a problem, especially henna that has metallic salts in it, as this can cause a reaction, a chemical reaction, with any dyes later on, causing them to smoke. Now I heard about this, it can cause it to smoke, as well as turn your hair like green or blue. So one should be aware of that once you go with henna, you probably gonna be going steady with henna for a very long time. So be sure of what you want, because it is permanent. Even though it does fade, but that color that's deposited in that cuticle, it's pretty stubborn. It pretty much stays there. So if you're going to a professional afterwards, let's say you're using henna, and then afterwards you see this, dope color, maybe it's lighter or whatever. Number one, you would need to tell somebody if you go to a professional. That way they know not to use the wrong chemical process on top of that henna, cause any type of adverse reaction, either to your skin or especially to your hair. We don't want smoky hair. Okay, we just don't. So you definitely want to give up the tapes and tell the professional before you switch up like that. And also it will let them know, as well as if you try to do something on your own later on as far as lightening it, that it's going to be a hard process. Henna does not like to move. It's very stubborn and it stays in your hair. When it says permanent, it means it. So with that being said, it is hard to lighten your hair and or change the hair color after you have used henna. So you just want to be very sure that this is the color that you want. That's all I'm trying to say. Just be mindful of that. Be mindful of that changing later on after you use henna can be an arduous process, because that henna is really deep. It goes deep into the cuticle and it's really hard to remove completely. So with that being said, it works best on darker hair. Again, those who are looking for anything of a auburn tone or reddish brown or something like that, something rich and rusty or reddish, this may be for you. But for those who are looking to go lighter, maybe blondish, which is what I was looking for. I'm looking for like a honey blonde, or just something like a flatter brown, not so much red, but less red. Then henna may not be for you because it's more red based. And you know how I mentioned earlier that it helps to prevent premature grays. Even though it does that, when using it on grays or silver or white hair, it can leave a bright orange tone, but it all depends on how your hair takes it. You know, henna can be fickle. It can be fickle. So with that being said, when using it to cover grays, just be aware that it may leave an orange sheen instead of it being the auburn color that you want. As well as you have to be careful with the moisture with this one, as it can leave your hair it can leave it dry. Now that's what I was told by the one who suggested it, and I thank you for that little tidbit. But that is confirmed as well, that it can leave your hair dry, because again, it's protein, as well as it's sealing the cuticles. So it can leave your hair dry and maybe feeling fragile, as well as it can change its porosity because of it sealing those cuticles down. So it's good to know your porosity going in, and then being aware of your porosity afterwards, because you will probably have to up the ante on your moisture after using this, because it has the potential of drying out your strands and affecting the way your hair can gather moisture, i.e. its porosity. And for those with curly hair, okay, or natural hair, it can cause your curls, because of this, because of the dryness and the changing in the porosity, it can cause your curls to drop and or change its pattern, which can cause frizziness. This can cause frizziness in both relaxed hair as well as naturals. So that's just another little, feather in the cap of awareness that we need to put out there, that it can cause dryness, which can lead to a chain of events for those who have naturally curly hair. As far as the way it falls and lays, it may be because of the henna that you are using. And it could cause protein buildup, okay? Because again, if you're not allowing moisture to really get in because those cuticles are being sealed, it can have the strand being resistant to moisture, and therefore there's more protein prevalent in and on the strand. So it can lead to protein buildup, which can lead to those other things as far as the curls being dropped and seeming a little heavier and your hair feeling dry and stiff. It's all related. So just like overuse of a protein treatment, it can sort of have those same after effects. And as with anything, there can be an allergic reaction. So that's with anything that you put on your skin, including the chemical alternative, chemical dyeing. So with this, same thing applies. You could have an allergic reaction. So it's best, just like with all the other stuff, it's best to do a test. Do a test before you commit to doing your whole head. So do a strand test, do a skin test to make sure that henna is safe for you. Because even though it's natural, that doesn't mean that it's safe for you to use. And also in doing that test, making sure you read those labels. You got to read the labels on henna, because there's a lot of imposters and not so pure versions of henna out there. And you want to be sure to get the ones that don't have a lot of parabens and a lot of additives, such as silver nitrate and chromium. Those are just two that you want to be on the lookout for. You do not want henna with any of these, as well as there are some other additives that can really cause allergic reactions as well as affect your hair. So please be on the lookout for that if you are looking into getting henna for yourself. So in conclusion, what I've gathered is henna can be very beneficial to your hair. It can impart shine, and it can be a long-lasting alternative to chemical processing or using chemical dyes. Now, in saying that, you also have to be aware, and it's best to do your due diligence before walking down the aisle with henna and committing, because there are a lot of factors that you would want to consider before making that ultimate commitment. Because in using henna, it is somewhat of a commitment. It's a commitment to the color, and it's a commitment to doing your due diligence and getting that regimen to really be conducive to using henna and getting the benefits out of it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Those are my deets on henna, and I just want to thank you yet again, and you know who you are. Thank you for suggesting that. And again, for everyone else who has suggested other products, just in case this Clairol don't work out, For everyone who has suggested things, thank you. I really, really do appreciate it. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy. It makes me feel like y'all care. Makes me feel like y'all care about my hair. And I really do appreciate it. And for all those who are a little disappointed, because I said last week that I might, perhaps, will try to do my hair, show you what's going on. I don't want y'all to be upset. I said that I'm going to do it, and just act like y'all know me. Act like you know me, and you know my word is my bond up in this piece. I said I was going to do it. I said maybe perhaps next week, which was this week, but things got to move. But who knows? Maybe I did it, and this is a wig. I could be covering up the color that I have now gotten from Clairol Beautiful, and maybe I wanted to surprise you at the end. You never know with me. Maybe I'll just pop this off and show you the real color. No, I'm sorry. No, it's not a wig. It's my hair, okay? But like I said, don't y'all fret. Don't you worry your pretty little heads. I told you it's on the way. So, with that being said, without further ado, I think we can put a button on it, honey. What do you think? I think we can. I think we should. So, that wasn't too bad, right? We were in and out, okay? I want to thank you so much for dialing in and showing up. I really do appreciate it. I really do. I really do. And yeah, we'll be back talking about some more stuff. We're going to come on the way. So you got to come back for that. So you already know. It's going to be the same Dolce dial. It's going to be the same Dolce channel. So you come on back. All right.